You know that feeling, right? Staring at a blank page or a blinking cursor and just wondering, can this simple act of putting words down actually lead to something deeper? Something like self-fulfillment? Well, that's the big question we're digging into.
I mean, let's get right to it. Can putting words on a page genuinely change your life for the better? It's a pretty huge idea, and we're going to unpack exactly how and, if it really works.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start with why we even look for fulfillment in writing in the first place. Then we'll see how it acts like a mirror to our inner world and explore the sheer power of creating something from nothing. After that, we'll look at how writing connects us to other people, face some of the hard truths, what I'm calling the fulfillment fallacy, and finally, figure out how to make writing work for you.
All right, let's dive into part one, the quest for fulfillment. So, why do so many of us, from professional authors to people just scribbling in a notebook, turn to writing to find a deeper sense of meaning in our lives? Well, it turns out that experts see writing as way more than just a hobby. It's a seriously powerful tool for personal growth. It helps us figure out who we are and who we want to be. That's what psychologists call self-actualization. Basically, it helps us become the best version of ourselves and get in sync with what we truly value. Okay, on to our second big idea, writing as a mirror to yourself. This is where it gets really interesting because one of the most incredible things about writing is how it can reflect our own thoughts back at us with this surprising clarity. I absolutely love this quote. Writing is a relationship with oneself. Think about that for a second. It's not just you putting thoughts on a page. It's an active back and forth conversation between all the different parts of you. The part that's hopeful, the part that's scared, the part you show the world, and the part you keep hidden. Writing gives all of them a seat at the table. And it's in that internal conversation that the magic really starts to happen. It's how we take those fuzzy, messy, hard to pin down feelings and finally give them a name. It's a way to process the tough stuff, to step back and actually see the recurring patterns in our own lives. And maybe most importantly, it helps us build a kinder, more compassionate relationship with ourselves. Part 3 is all about the power of creation. There is this deep satisfaction that comes from making something brand new, something that literally didn't exist in the world until you sat down and wrote it. Just think about that journey. It always starts with just a little spark, an idea. Then you have to wrestle with it, give it some structure, craft the words, and finally, you finish it. That feeling of having a completed piece, it doesn't matter if it's a blog post or a massive novel, that is a real, tangible win that just builds on itself. But here's something that might surprise you. This isn't just about feeling good creatively. Expressive writing is actually a super effective tool for real-world problem solving and bouncing back from really difficult life events. I mean, check this out. In one incredible study, a group of engineers had been laid off from their jobs. After 8 months, over half, 52%, of the ones who wrote about their feelings and experience with the job loss had found a new job. Now compare that to the other group who didn't write. Less than 20% of them had a new job. That is a staggering difference, and it shows a direct line between writing and a positive, life-changing outcome. All right, part 4, beyond the blank page. We've talked a lot about the internal benefits, what happens inside our own heads. But what happens when our writing goes out into the world and connects us with other people? Well, sharing what we write can turn a totally solitary act into this incredible bridge to others. It helps people understand us, it builds empathy, it can create this amazing sense of community and belonging. Suddenly, your personal story has the power to inspire or help someone else. And that's a powerful way to feel like you're making a meaningful contribution, leaving a little piece of yourself behind. So, time for a reality check. Let's move to part 5, the fulfillment fallacy. Because let's be honest, writing isn't always this beautiful, fulfilling journey. Sometimes it feels more like a burden than a blessing, and it is definitely not a guaranteed ticket to happiness. Because, not all writing is created equal, is it? Doodling in your journal, writing a poem, making a gratitude list, that can feel amazing. But having to bang out tedious reports for work or writing emails when you're under a ton of pressure, yeah, that can feel like a total chore. And even when you are doing the good kind of writing, there are still so many hurdles. You've got that paralyzing writer's block, right? Or that nagging little inner critic that tells you everything you write is terrible. And then there's the sting of rejection, or the very real pain that can come from trying to write about trauma. These are real challenges that can totally derail any sense of fulfillment. So, after all that, where does that leave us? How do we actually make writing fulfilling? Well, that brings us to our final section: write for yourself. The whole key is finding an approach that feels authentic and sustainable for you. We can call this an authentic practice. And what does that mean, really? It just means creating a writing habit that lines up with your personal goals, one that's free from the pressure of what you think you should be writing, or the need to get likes or approval from anyone else. It's about you. And here is the bottom line, maybe the most important takeaway of all. Writing is not a magic bullet. It's an amazing tool for sure, but it works best when it's just one part of a fulfilling life, not when you're expecting it to be the only source of your meaning and happiness. So I'll leave you with this final thought, a question just for you. Whether it's a story for yourself or for the world, whether it's for healing or just for the pure joy of creating something, what story are you ready to write?